Welcome. I am taking this time to go live, bring y'all on a walk with me. I wanted to make a connection. I've been thinking about this connection for a really long time. And obviously, I'm going to make this connection between food and gardening. Food and gardening. So, this is our health talk for today, food and gardening. Now, as you all know, I'm trying to figure out how to feed as many people as I can because that's just who I am. Everybody needs to get a piece of the pie. But anyways, I'm trying to feed as many people as I can. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to learn how to grow this food. That way I can be precise in how I am approaching the situation. Because I feel if I have that skill, then I'll be able to replicate it over and over and over again. So that's Operation Free Food in a tiny nutshell. And in this quest, in this health talk, I want to make that connection of there is almost little to no interference that we do on our part. And I'm going to explain that. And this is something that I've noticed. This is the connection that I'm making. Okay. So I actually came across this documentary a few months ago. It's called Garden of Eden. And it was older. And they were talking about how basically human interference is what was causing a lot of negative stuff to happen with food, crops, and stuff. And to make that make sense, for an example, say you plant a tomato, or there is a farmer that has a tomato farm. The moment they bring in the heavy machinery and they start doing all this crazy high-tech stuff to the ground, the potatoes, you'll yield the potatoes, but it gets harder and harder every time for the potatoes to grow, basically. You have to do all this stuff. And, when you start using fertilizer, the land is going to want more of the fertilizer. And when you start doing this ultra fine tilling, the land is going to be stripped of the natural compounds that it has in it. And so I'm no expert in this, but I want to make that connection with our life and our health. Okay. So that is something I'm an expert in. It's health, wellness, and nutrition. And so I came to that realization. I had that epiphany that the interference that we do can possibly be causing a lot of the issues too. Okay. So for an example, when I talk about the interference, you don't feel well. Your stomach hurts. Okay. Instead of thinking about the root causes for your stomach hurt, you may take a Tums immediately. Oh, like I need this. Or you might take a Pepto-Bismol. I don't know if people still take that. But instead of getting to the root cause or waiting it out, because a lot of the things that we take are not instant. You're gonna have to wait it out. Instead of doing that, you don't realize what you're doing to your body. You're putting it through this whole shock. Let me see. Let me take a moment. Sorry if I'm not getting to y'all's messages as quickly. Hello. I see your message. I don't quite know how to reply it, but I see you. I appreciate you for coming in. I'm talking about, this is my health talk where I like to just talk about things in long form. And right now I'm talking about the connection between gardening, growing food, and your health. And so, okay, Tamir, got you. Yes, please do. I appreciate your support. But I was talking about that connection. And that connection is when we interfere, and the more we interfere to this thing that it doesn't need too much interference. What it needs is an environment where it can grow. Okay, I'm gonna take it back to the tomatoes. Okay, if you give the tomato an environment to flourish, then it gives you many, many, many tomatoes, and there's an abundance of tomatoes. Now, let me connect that back to your health, because you're like, what is this guy talking about? He's yapping. Going back to the example of your stomach hurting and you immediately going for the Tums, or you're immediately going for the over-the-counter prescriptions of drugs. You don't necessarily have to. And I think as humans, we immediately think that we need instant convenience, and that may not be the case. And in turn, it's really messing a lot of stuff up. Okay, so what we fail to realize that when we have that stomach ache or something like that, and we're taking the things that's going right into our stomach, that is messing with our gut microbiome, right? Gut microbiome's all out of whack, right? And the gut microbiome, this is all the bacteria, and it actually sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the gut. It's crazy to think about, but it gets all out of whack. So don't even let somebody that doesn't share like the same germs with you, don't even let them get close to you, because once your gut microbiome's off, now, because all the body systems are connected, now your immune system's going to be a little off, right? And so your body's trying to recuperate. And I think it's in our own doing as humans. We want this instant convenience. We want it to happen just like that. But we have to realize, like, hey, even when I do take medicine, I'm going to have to wait. So you have a headache, or you're feeling sore, or whatever that you experience, just know you're going to have to wait. And you have to be patient either way, whether you don't take medicine or you hydrate, you drink more water, or you have a plethora of the many things that you can have to make you feel better, to settle your stomach, to make the headache go away. It's just something that I've been thinking about, because when you think about like farming and gardening and growing food, you look at what we've been doing just as humans. The land is losing its nutrients. Your food is losing its nutrients. I don't know if you're aware of what's going on in our world right now, but a lot of it is coming from deficiencies. There are deficiencies, meaning lack of, a lot of things which are causing people to have a lower quality of life. I mean, just really, really think about it, and just do your Google search. A lot of it can be deficiency, a lack of this, a lack of that. A lot of, things, if you ask me, stem from food. That is the main centerpiece, and it's a nutrients deal. My expertise, my passion is in nutrition, and I'm going to tell you all things nutrition is centered all in nutrition. Your nutrition helps you think, helps you feel, helps you react to things. It actually determines how you absorb things when you eat things. Like right now, I'm out in the sun right now. If my nutrition was off, I wouldn't be able to absorb certain amounts of vitamins that I'm getting from the sun right now. Like it's crazy to think about. And no one's perfect, right? I'm not trying to say that my way of living is perfect, but I have figured some things out. And that's what I want you all to see, is that you don't have to be perfect, but your body gives you these signs. Your body gives you these signs, and a lot of people will just not even pay attention to those signs, or they will not even acknowledge those signs. They feel it. You feel it. You feel the soreness, you feel the lack of focus, the brain fog, you feel it. Hello, hello, I appreciate you for your support. I'm just having a health talk right now, and I'm talking about how convenience is basically doing us a disservice. So let's see, I have about 10 more minutes. Let me do the questions and answers real quick to wrap this up. Let me see. I'm figuring this.
Pausing workout. Resuming workout.
The green screen. I need y'all to see this awesomeness. All right. But yeah, it's all connected. And I think the more we interfere, the more of a disservice we're doing. Okay, so my channel is a health and wellness channel, and I'm not selling supplements or products or anything like that. What I'm doing is I'm basically empowering you to improve your quality of life. And that looks like a lot of stuff. Okay, so it could be nutrition, it could be me exposing something for you, it could be me educating you in something. So if you check out my channel, you'll see I'm super passionate in the nutrition realm, but my passion is to be able to just help you live better, feel better, because that is where I come in, and that's my scope. It's all rooted in food. It's all rooted in food. Sai, what's up, dude? What's up? I'm just taking a walk and wrapping up this health talk right now. I was talking about the connection between our interference with our health and our food. It's causing a lot of problems. And, you know, younger people, they don't really too much care about the little things that they go through, but it adds up, especially when you're wanting to do stuff, or especially when people get older, or especially when people get sick. That's when people start really taking into consideration their health and, oh, I could have did this, or maybe I should start eating better because my stomach hurts. Stuff like that. We don't want that. We don't want that, not one bit. Not one bit. But it's very important to think about these things, not when you're in a bind or not when you're uncomfortable. You should think about these things as a preventative measure. I am a nutritional medicine doctor candidate, and a lot of the work that I do is preventative. We want to prevent you from having to waste days basically because you're not feeling well. We want to prevent you from being constipated because, yeah, you're getting fiber, but you're not getting the right types of prebiotics for your probiotics in your stomach. So it's a whole world to it, but that's basically what my channel is about. I just want to give value in this way, and I have a lot of things that I have already recorded. I just need to get out there basically. I have a new series called Quality Life, and it's where I basically touch on the three pillars that I feel that health is, which is mind, movement, and nutrition, of course. So I sit down and I talk to different businesses and people, and it's kind of structured in like a class style, so you can learn and get a lot from it. Just giving y'all value, because here's the thing. And this is not me. I talk about a lot of things. I'm not trying. I understand that people have good intentions, but just imagine if people were able to take a walk with their doctor. That's just imagine if you were able to take a walk with your healthcare professional. Like that is the reason why I chose the path that I chose, because when I got to shadowing, when I got to asking questions, I realized that I didn't want to go in this certain field because I didn't get, I wouldn't get to spend the time with people that I wanted to. And when you talk about health, it's something ongoing, and it's community centered. So, what are your thoughts on marijuana? You think it's a miracle drug? Think everyone's proclaiming, or is it just another initiative for rich to make profit? Well, so marijuana is one of those things that let me talk about drugs on a whole before I get into that. When we think about drugs, pharmaceuticals, opiates, things like that, they were derived from plants. They were derived from the earth. Chemicals were derived from the earth. With that being said, that there's a scare. There's a scare on things like mushrooms and marijuana, and I understand the scare, and I understand, and this is what I want people to understand. Like there are reasons why there are restrictions on it. There are age restrictions on it, because, and same thing with pharmaceuticals. There are limits that the body can
Time 19 minutes 30 seconds. Distance 1 mile. Average pace 19:30 per mile.
Cool. So there are limits that the body can take. But as far as marijuana and other, like marijuana and mushrooms, there's research behind it, and it helps people. But ultimately, health is really not one size fit all. So there's no way that you have someone that weighs a certain amount, that has a certain physical activity, that has a certain blood type. There's no way that they should be able, that they are required to take a same dosage, and I'm talking about pharmaceuticals, as somebody that may not be as active or may not be that same weight. And so health isn't one size fit all for everyone, because everyone is different. Everyone consumes differently. Everyone feels differently. Everyone eats differently. Everyone moves differently. And so when it comes to things like that, there are, if it's green, if it comes from the ground, there, I mean, it was not meant to harm. It was not meant to hurt. And yes, it can be abused, just like pharmaceuticals can be abused. Too much of anything, and that goes for nutrition as well. Too much of anything is going to cause problems. I always say, eat the rainbow, eat in variety. And it's the same thing when people are medicating. Too much of anything is going to be a problem. Whether there is money involved, you have to pay close attention. Pay very close attention. Okay? When you look at produce, apples, bananas, cucumbers, produce, they don't have health claims on them. They don't. You've never seen an apple or a vegetable pack. You've never seen them say, low fat or high protein, or, they don't have these health claims on them, mainly because these things haven't been stripped of nutrients. They have a set amount of nutrients, and that's what it's going to be for across the board. So pay close attention to the package, and pay close attention to how this food, how this drug, how this recreational drug, pay close attention to how it is tampered with, the things that are actually in it. Pay very close attention to the ingredient list. Pay attention to how it is regulated, because the truth has always been there in plain sight, and it's always going to be there. A lot of Our world is profit. Sadly, that's just how business works. It's profit. And businesses need to turn over a profit. But where I'm coming from is, look, we all have one goal, and that goal is to survive and enjoy doing that survival. So there are things that shouldn't cost money. There are things that shouldn't cost money. Let's see. Let's try this question sticker. For an example, when I was a kid, I distinctively remember being able to pick pecans that have fallen from a tree, and there are apple and peach trees that I would walk home and I'd pick it and I'd, wipe it off on my shirt or run through some water when I got home and I'd eat it. I appreciate it. This is just the stuff that I think about. I mean, it's not stuff that can be changed overnight, but it's just like, I put it like this. There's supply and demand. The demand for something is low. You're going to cause the company, the entity, to switch up what it is that they are offering. Because if we can get the youth, if we can get the adults, if we can get everyone to stop eating this ultra processed Frankenstein, hyperactive, super chemically leached food, if we can stop eating that stuff and stop buying into it and just leave it, because it already has a shelf life that lasts for ages. If we just leave it alone, companies are going to be forced to make something better, to make something healthier. And see, here's the thing. The argument with that is things need to be shelf stable. What about emergencies and stuff like that? But that's our economy, okay? A fruit and vegetable, they're going to go bad. That's how you know something is good. Just think about it. If it has this shelf life of multiple years, just think about how long your body takes to truly break it down. Think about that. If something goes bad quickly, fruit, vegetable, dare I say meat, you want fresh things. You want things that go bad quickly. You want to consume things that are full of life. And you need to know the difference between ultra processed and processed, okay? Ultra processed, well, I'll start with processed. Processed is, say you take some oats and you ground it down into a flour. That's oat flour, and you can make pancakes or something out of that. Say you have that same oat and you grind it down, you add this chemical into it so it can stay thick, and you add this preservative in it so it doesn't sour and go bad like it naturally does. That's ultra processed. What's up, dude? I like how you started to pay attention to the nutrition facts kindness, because has someone tell me the actual homegrown plant has less withdrawal effects from the earth and the government. Yeah, because you look at it like this, and that's why it's kind of hard too. People aren't even able to grow their own. It's getting weird. Like, you can't even give away things for free, especially when you grow them. And things that are nurtured, and say that you grew it yourself. I'm going to use a tomato as an example. Say you grew that tomato in a grow bag, or you grew it in your backyard. It's going to have more nutrients than it does on these factory farms, because you didn't strip it of nutrients. You did not spray it with chemicals, and it's not in this dead soil. Okay, you need to, and these are just things to think about. Like, the food that you get, it looks real, but it's made factory style. Like soil needs bugs in it. Soil needs live things. You put that fruit or that vegetable or that plant on the ground, if the animals aren't eating it, what makes you think that, if the animals aren't eating it, that should tell you something. A lot of people want this perfect waxed up fruit and waxed up produce. And what this whole talk is about. This whole talk is about our interference, because that should tell you something. If the animals aren't eating it, if the insects aren't eating it, we have tainted it so much to where nature doesn't even want to get involved, right? And now things that were a certain way are no longer that way anymore, and it's causing all types of just problems. It's causing all types of problems, and that's the issue. And so you have people that speak out on it, then they get canceled. You have people that stand up on it, and maybe they don't know the system, so they get taxed and taxed and taxed. And you got farmers that truly, have a passion for this, and they want to do it the right way. And that's the way of making sure they're not stripping the ground of nutrients. How you doing, sir? And making sure that they're not killing their land, right? You got people that want to do it the right way, and they can't make it because that way doesn't profit in a society where people need stuff instantly and where we're so disconnected. So that's what I'm doing over here. My name is Eric Johnson. I'm a nutritional medicine doctor candidate, and I will feed people. I will feed as many people as I can before my time is up on this world. I plan on having all types of community gardens. I plan on having some land where people can just come and go as they please, and they can have their basket, and they can take whatever they need. Because imagine how much easier life would be if you didn't really have to have a grocery bill. And I plan on doing stuff like that, and I plan to continue teaching. I plan to continue to coach people in businesses and kind of get them out of that mindset of like, we've all been brainwashed. I'll say it like that. We've been brainwashed, and I want to empower people, because we've been brainwashed to think that we don't have the power. We've had the power all along. It's been in our hands all along. And when I was younger, I would talk about other entities and people, but I'm done talking about them and giving them the power. I'm just simply put, and I was one of them. I thought that life had to be a certain type of way, or your health had to be a certain type of way. But you have more control than you think, way more control. And that's where I'm gonna end. I don't want to get on my soapbox, start getting passionate. But my whole thing is, instead of interfering, give your body the right environment that it needs to do what it needs to do. Okay? You got to go to school every day. You got to go to work every day. It is what it is. You have to show up every day for something, whether you're an adult, you're a kid, right? You need to be able to do that effectively. If you can't do that effectively, you need to take a step back and see and look at the fuel that you're giving yourself. So that's my whole point. Just really looking into your health. And again, I don't have any supplements. I don't have any herbs or teas or magic snake pills, snake oil pills that I'm selling. I'm really just empowering you, because once you realize how much power you have, you're unstoppable. And once you start eating a certain way, and once you start really taking out all the toxic stuff that you're consuming in your life, you're a different person. And don't take my word for it. Really just start experimenting. Start eating more fruits and vegetables. Don't delete the things that you're already eating. I want you to start eating more fruits and vegetables to begin with. and endure the name calling, because people are they're gonna tease you. They're gonna feel a type of way that you don't want to do negative stuff with them. But endure that just for a little bit and watch how your life changes. You will be on top of the world. You'll be a whole different person. But that's all I got for today. I appreciate you all for your support. And tune in. I got a lot of good stuff coming this way. And it's all for y'all, really. It's me trying to help you live a better life. It's me improving your quality of life, helping you feel better, live better. So appreciate y'all. Be well. Continue to take care of yourself. You have all the power.